You are the creator. You make cities.
Once you've chosen a map and you're loaded into your game, you'll be presented with your starting tile, which is represented by these white lines. And this is simply the area in which you can build. The playable area will grow as you earn expansion permits as you progress through the game. The first thing to do in your new city is to start building a basic road layout. Go into your roads menu and explore the different road options that you have. I always recommend that you build a 4-lane medium road as a main arterial connection into your city. And from there, you can use smaller roads to branch off into your residential neighborhoods. Feel free to be as creative as you want with your road layout, however, be mindful of how your traffic is going to flow in and out of your city, as traffic volumes are going to increase as your city grows. You want to make sure to have a good network of arterial roads running across your city to collect the higher volumes of traffic that are going to be generated from the different neighborhoods and businesses alongside them. In Cities Skylines 2, traffic AI behaves a bit differently than in Cities Skylines 1. Rather than only choosing the shortest route to their destination, in Cities Skylines 2, traffic will determine how to get to their destination based on multiple factors such as traffic congestion and travel time. A good road network will ensure that your city's traffic flows smoothly and that services are able to get to their destination quicker, but it will also help prevent car accidents and traffic jams from occurring. And also be sure to take advantage of all the new road building tools included in Cities Skylines 2, such as Roundabout and the Grid tool. Once you have a basic road network laid out, it's time to begin placing essential services such as water and electricity. Let's start with electricity. The first thing to do is to choose how you're going to power your city. You'll see in your power menu that you have the choice between 2 power plants, wind or a small coal power plant. For starting a city, I prefer building some wind turbines as it's a cheaper option compared to the coal power plant. However, with wind power generation, you must make sure that your map has the right environmental factors to support a wind farm. Go into your info views, then into your electricity menu to make sure that your map has the wind speed required. In this case, I'm good to go. However, there's actually a third method of power generation new to Cities Skylines 2, which is importing electricity from elsewhere. If you have high voltage power lines running into your starting square, you can simply place down a transformer station near them, connect the high voltage lines to the transformer station, and your city will automatically begin importing electricity as needed. This is a very cost-effective way of powering your city early game until you can afford your own power plant. Of course, it's going to cost you a lot more per megawatt when importing electricity, so be sure to keep an eye on your power usage as it will eventually become cheaper to run your own power plant than to import power. And remember, power lines are now run underneath all roads except highways in Cities Skylines 2, so no more running random strings of power lines all over your city. Now let's take a look at water and sewage, which is equally as important as electricity. When you go into your water and sewage menu, you'll immediately find that all your roads automatically have water pipes underneath them. That's right, no need to run water pipes all across your city like in Cities Skylines 1. In Cities Skylines 2, there are 3 methods of extracting water from your map. The first method is a water pumping station, which can be placed near any body of water such as lakes and rivers. The second option is a water tower, which can be placed anywhere on the map. However, this option is a bit more expensive. The third option is a groundwater pumping station, which is a bit cheaper. The only thing you'll have to watch out for is the groundwater pumping station needs to be placed on top of a groundwater deposit shown here in blue. In this case, I'm going to go with the groundwater pumping station. Don't forget to place a sewage outlet as well to expel your city's dirty water. And be very careful where you place your sewage outlet, as it creates a lot of water pollution which is carried downstream by the current. And lastly, don't forget to connect your sewage outlet to the rest of your sewer network. Finally, once all your basic city services are laid down, it's time to start zoning your city. Your residential demand is most likely very high, so I would start with that. Also make sure to zone a little bit of commercial here and there, mostly along your main roads, and they should immediately start to build. Soon after your city starts building, you should be hit with your first milestone. In Cities Skylines 2, milestones work differently than in Cities Skylines 1. Instead of unlocking milestones based on population alone, you'll earn XP towards your next milestone by placing buildings and roads when your city's happiness increases, as well as when your population increases. click on the progression panel to see exactly what you've unlocked at your current milestone. Each milestone you unlock will reward you with a lump sum of money, some progression points, as well as some expansion permits. By going under the development tab in the progression window, you'll be able to see all of the different progression trees where you'll see all of the different city services that you can spend your progression points on. Expansion permits, on the other hand, are used for expanding your city's playable area. You may just need a little bit more room to expand, or you may want to purchase some extra tiles to gain access to some important natural resources that are just out of your city's borders. At this stage, your zones should start to sprout into buildings, so feel free to increase the simulation speed to make things go a bit faster. I always recommend that you periodically check your city information window, as it gives you a good indication on what type of zone is in demand, as well as displaying what factors are influencing the level of demand for each type of zone. In the very early stages of Cities Skylines 2, you'll start with 3 different types of zoning: low-density residential, commercial, and industrial. New to Cities Skylines 2, as you progress in the game and unlock different milestones, you'll unlock more types of zones, such as offices, and eventually high-density residential. For example, the medium-density residential that you see down below was unlocked at our very first milestone, Tiny Town. As businesses and residents move into your city, you'll notice that your industrial demand begins to rise. It's time to build your first industrial zone. Just like in Cities Skylines 1, you'll want to place your industrial buildings away from your city, as the air pollution that's produced by them will directly affect your citizens' health. However, in Cities Skylines 2, air pollution can actually be carried by the wind. Make sure you check the wind direction prior to placing your industrial buildings by going into your info view, then down to air pollution. It's also very important to check your water pollution info view to make sure that you're not placing any industrial buildings on top of a groundwater deposit. Whoops. The last item I'll touch on in this tutorial is your city economy window. Early game, there's not a whole lot that you can do here, however you can view some important info about your city's finances. Don't worry too much if you're not making a lot of money or even losing money early game, as you will always have the government subsidies to act as a cushion for your finances. As more and more people and businesses move into your city, you'll be able to collect more tax dollars. The most important takeaway when it comes to city finances is not to overspend on city services until you have a healthy, stable income. I'll go more into detail on city finances in a later video.
Every pathway you carve out shapes the routine every day and opens the door to the extraordinary events that define their lives. City building starts with roads. Roads allow people, goods, and services to move through your city, of course. And in Cities Skylines 2, all roads except for highways automatically carries water, electricity, and sewage lines. It's a shortcut that lets you focus on what you love about city building sooner. You'll construct and refine your road network using road tools. They're easy to learn and flexible, inviting you to follow your creative impulses. Returning players will welcome upgrades to the road tools that introduce several of the most wished-for features. Other features are totally new. Use the road tools to create seamless city blocks in just 3 clicks. In no time, you'll lay long, beautiful stretches of road to link lively residential and industrial districts to your buzzing city center. Just like that, you'll thread traffic along wide, curving streets and elegant, elevated highways. You'll even add bridges and tunnels in only a few clicks. Intersections have been overhauled in Cities Skylines 2. Placement rules are less restrictive, and you can use pre-made intersections on new and existing roads. You can also add roundabouts. Yep, they're here. From gentle suburban roundabouts to roaring multi-lane roundabouts, it's never been easier to engineer uninterrupted streams of traffic. That's because roads will be configured automatically, so vehicles can enter and exit the roundabout safely. Simply drop your preferred roundabout over an existing intersection and ta-da! A whole new way to move people, goods, and services through your city. Decide the direction of traffic and how it flows by placing traffic lights, crosswalks, and directional no-turn traffic signs and stop signs. Erect sound barriers and construct parking lots. That's another new feature in Cities Skyline 2. And for returning players, it means Christmas has come early. You can even add decorative touches if you want to. They don't just make your city pretty, they can be useful too. So those trees you use to line sidewalks add charm and reduce noise pollution. Of course, building a city is a process of exploration and experimentation. You'll try stuff out. Some of it you'll like, and some you won't. Want to change an existing road? Use the new Replace tool. It's like the old Upgrade tool, but with more freedom to refine your road network. Change your mind about a road? Bulldoze tool to the rescue. Click, 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 and that road is a thing of the past. Road building is more intuitive and nuanced in Cities Skylines too, and every pathway has a far-reaching impact. Built how? City services. You'll build clinics and hospitals to deliver healthcare, plus the ambulance service people need in life or death situations. Oh, yeah, sometimes it will be a death situation. So you'll add death care services that transport people to the city's crematoriums and cemeteries. You'll set up schools for kids of all ages, plus colleges and universities. After all, education fosters social advancement. Life still might take a turn for the worse for some people. When it does, you'll want the safety net of a welfare office. One thing that improves everyone's well-being, no matter what's going on in life, is time outdoors. You'll create parks, plazas, attractions, and landmarks that make people living nearby happier and healthier. As in real life, safety first is a good mantra in Cities Skylines too. So you'll want various fire and rescue services. Just adding a firehouse reduces the likelihood of a blaze in the neighborhood. Same with police stations. Build them and send patrols out onto the streets to cut crime. Communications is a new city service in Cities Skylines too, helping you meet more essential needs. That includes the internet. Naturally, the easier it is to connect to the web, the happier everyone will feel and the more profitable the city's businesses will be. Of course, everyone relies on electricity, so taxes can also influence the production rate of specific goods. You can slow the rate of production by raising taxes, lower taxes to accelerate production rates and more similar manufacturers to your city. It's also possible to motivate businesses to specialize in ways that strengthen the economy. Imagine reducing taxes for furniture stores and the various industries that manufacture their products. That will make them more profitable. More businesses specializing in the design and manufacture of furniture will crop up. Before you know it, your city will have a flourishing furniture trade and a reputation that keeps cash flowing in. Managing and adjusting production chains is another way you can influence your city's economy. Overhauled in Cities Skylines 2, this adds a whole new dimension to city building. There's no need to micromanage every detail if you don't want to. But if you love a puzzle, there's almost no limit to how deep you can go. Starting from raw material extraction, you can get raw materials into the city by importing them or producing them locally. Opt for local production, and you'll need to establish a specialized industry area. There are 9 total. 4 are farms where you can raise livestock or grow either grain, vegetables, or cotton. Forests produce timber, though how much depends on the age of the forest. You can extract ore, stone, or coal from underground deposits. And lastly, you can drill for oil. You'll manage all this activity via the economy panel. It puts your city's finances at a glance and allows you to monitor and adjust production outputs for various goods and materials. With integrated tools and clear displays, the economy panel is a user-friendly way to manage and grow your economy.